I'm here in Medjugorje in front of St. James Church and I'm with, what's your name?
My name is May.
May, where are you from?
I'm from Northern Ireland.
How often have you been in Medjugorje, May?
Almost 40 years.
Why do you come all the time back?
I don't know what draws me back. I find I take out groups and I find that it's what we say regenerates me. It brings me. I think you do need from when we go back. You go back and then you try to do all your things you should do, and then it's just it brings you back again, and it gives you that. What can I say? It
Recharge the battery?
recharges the batteries, exactly, yeah. And as human beings, I suppose we do need to be recharged.
Spiritually also, no? Our spiritual
Spiritually, yeah. It's spiritually, yeah.
And how does that process, if somebody who hasn't been in Medjugorje, how do you recharge your battery here?
Somebody who hasn't been.
How do you explain that you're recharging the battery here?
Well, I always say to them, they say, why do you go back again? I'll say, well, there's always something that draws you back. And it's Our Lady. And I always say to the people that before I take them out, I always say, when you go out to Medjugorje, you're invited. Our Lady invites you, and that's the reason that you come back, and it's the reason for them to be coming out. Many people will not get out or not be able to get out, but the people who get out, I believe they're being asked by Our Lady. They're invited.
Yeah, that's the spiritual law. We all feel it. No? You only come by invitation here to this place.
That's right.
And what do you tell people? Confession is so important here. Some of them haven't been for years to confession. What do you tell them?
I tell them that, the confessions is very important, and out here I see this is a confessional of the world here. So many people come here who haven't been there for years, and there should be no fear to come, kneel down and go to confessions, because it's nothing, there's no pressure there on them, and it's just a place that you get a lot of peace after you go to confession. You just feel floating.
You feel that as well? You're floating, you want to embrace everybody?
Yeah, that's right. And that's very important.
And a lot of people don't understand anymore what is the Eucharist. Can you explain that?
What is the Eucharist? It's the body and blood of Christ, and it's very important. And the people, you have to have reverence there. And I know that a lot of us over in Northern Ireland, we take the Eucharist in the hand, but I believe that should be stopped, and we should take it on the tongue. I believe.
But a lot of people also, maybe you made the experience, they think God the Father is an angry old man with a white beard. He wants to judge us and put us to hell, and then he's happy. And that is a distorted image. It's not true. How is God the Father? You're working for him.
No. God the Father, I believe, is important. It's his Son, and you have all the times when he said, "This is my beloved Son, and whom I am well pleased." He said that in the baptism in the River Jordan, and he said it again in the Transfiguration. And I see that God the Father plays a very important part, an equal part.
His love, you experience him as love, as pure love, as an ocean of love, God the Father.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite place here in Medjugorje?
Oh, my favourite place would be probably, I like the Blue Cross. That's maybe now because I'm not as able to climb the mountains as I was in the past, because I have knee joints and whatnot. And I like the Blue Cross very, very much, and the Adoration Chapel.
Why the adoration? What is so important about adoration?
Well, the presence is there. Jesus is in the Blessed Sacrament there, and people can sit down and they can pray and be relaxed. And if the weather's not too warm, now we came here last year in August and it was very warm, and it was on, but you nearly would go to sleep if it was that warm. But that's to me. I suppose now that I can't do the small mountain would have been my favourite, but the Blue Cross, I find, I like the Blue Cross.
Why so? Is that so?
Well, I suppose it's where Our Lady appeared in the early days, and probably Ivan had his prayer group there, and we used to come to that whenever Ivan was having his prayer group there, and I think there's something very, very, very spiritual about it. You get that, still feeling that presence there. And I have spoke to people who came out to Medjugorje just as a first time, and I asked them what did they feel about Medjugorje. They said there is a presence there. Even though they maybe didn't at that time fully believe, but they said there was a presence there, something special there.
You feel the same?
Yeah.
And why, over all this year, you bring people now here? Why are you so passionate about this place?
Well, I feel, I suppose Our Lady has asked us to spread the message. That's what the one thing that she has asked. And it's a way of bringing these people out, and they'll go back and they'll want to share what they have received out here.
And did you see miracles happen here? People changed?
Yes, I seen, first of all, myself. I mean, I changed. I mean, I felt coming out the very first time that I felt it was just a very special place. And that was in the early days when there wasn't the same facilities here. There was no outside toilets, were just a hole in the ground, and the houses were not the same. So I still, I was able to be drawn back. It wasn't just the houses, and it wasn't that. It was more than that. That was not, we came in those days and we came back again, and it wasn't anything big that was happening there that's special, other than Our Lady appearing here and that presence here.
And what would you tell people why coming here when you go home?
Oh, well, I always tell people, if there's anything special that has happened while I'm here, I tell it to them. And I always say to them, it's important that you should try and go out an hour. And anyway, if they don't get, as long as they do go to confession and, go to Mass. Mass is very important.
Why is Mass so important?
I find Mass is very, very important to me to be there, because first of all, it's wrong. It's a sin to miss Mass. It's a mortal sin to miss Mass if you're able to go. And I explain to people that people I know maybe doesn't go, I say to them, you should go, because there's something very special for you at Mass. And
you got a miracle. Every time people look for miracles, every Holy Mass, the consecration is a miracle.
Yes, the consecration is a miracle, and that's at that time, if they have something special they want, something they need, that's when they ask for it at that particular time.
You do too? Always when you kneel down, you ask you ask for people who, fantastic. And the Rosary prayer. Padre Pio said it's the weapon of our time. Santa Lucia of Fatima said you can solve every problem with the Rosary prayer. Did you experience that? What do you tell people about the Rosary prayer?
Well, the Rosary is very important, the Rosary, because it's Our Lady, as you're asking for, you're praying to Our Lady and you're praying to God. And the Rosary is very, very important. And I think Our Lady has said, that the world can be changed by the Rosary.
It is so? You feel it?
Yeah.
That your petitions are heard?
Yes.
And things change? You got more peace praying the Rosary?
The Rosary is a prayer that can solve any problems you have. If you say the Rosary and say it, you might have to say it a lot of times, but you'll get whatever answer that you're looking for.
And you made experience when you live in the intention, thy will be done. As said in Our Father, that your life becomes more joyful, peaceful.
I will be done, yeah. The Our Father will, it's the Lord's Prayer. And it's very important, the Lord's Prayer. So it's the one that the Lord made himself for us.
Did you also make the experience that a lot of people are in trouble, have depression, whatever, because they don't forgive?
Yes, forgiveness is very, very important, and I have to say it's something that I can do it. I don't hold grudges. I can feel times be hurt, but I still can say I forgive. And I think when you're saying the Lord's Prayer, that's what you're saying, so it's very, very important. And if you can't forgive, how can we ask the Lord to forgive us? Because we all are sinners.
This is amazing. This is amazing what you're saying. It's so true. And why are you so passionate Catholic?
Well, I suppose it's all we have is our faith. Our faith is very important, and I find that without faith, you're lost. You have to have faith, and that's very, very important. And the Catholic Church is not asking for anything that's not asked for God by God, and it's not asked by Our Lady. And here, there's no, it's very important. You go to confession, as you say, you forgive, and you don't hold any grudges. You get it all cleared. You come out of confession, you say, that's it. And okay, we all fall, but it's getting up again and moving on, and living the messages.
Yeah, that's the important thing. We often fall, and we are not perfect as Catholics. That's why we go to confession so often, or monthly, as Our Lady says.
Yes, I think you have monthly confessions. We have the monastery not far from where I live.
Where do you live? Where is the monastery?
I live in South Derry, but the monastery is only about 20 minutes from us, and I go there, and I find that it's very important to get monthly confessions, or as near the month as you can.
And you made the experience. Confession is for ourselves, to be free, to be happy, to be joyful.
Yeah, that's right. And you can be joyful. You can come back feeling a lot lighter.
Yes, a lot lighter. That's the message from Medjugorje. No, if you come here at the end.
You go home all full of the Holy Spirit.
Thank you so much for that interview.
Thank